We already have the assumption tab. The next thing is I need to have a tab dedicated for construction, because why is this is a highway project, so they want to know the construction phase and also the operation phase. And if we look, so the construction, if you notice carefully, the construction starts on 2026, so meaning to say the construction starts in 2026, and sometimes it will actually, after the construction, it will actually eventually operate in the year of 2030. But if just say I put on scenario number 1, you will notice that this phase here, when just say the construction starts on 2026, the operation will start on 2029 after completing the operation construction date. And if just say I were to change the scenario 2, you will notice that the construction takes about 2 years, whereby by 2028 the operation will start. So that is why I need a tab dedicated for construction, because the construction, if you see here, it starts in 2026, and we also have the construction cost which will be allocated along the years. So what we need to do is we need to prepare a start date. The model start date, it starts date on 1st January 2026. So I'm going to go to C1 equal, and I link to the assumption tab and I link it over here, and I'm going to press enter. So now this is 1st January 2026. What I'll do is I'll use the equal EOM, the end of month formula, and this is the start date. I'm going to press comma 11. 11 means about the next 11 months. So if January plus 11 months, it will eventually be December. But of course, right now it shows in a general format. You can highlight all this and you can press Ctrl Shift 3 so that it will show in a date format. So now this is 2026. I'm going to put here equal year and enter. So this is the year 2026, and then equal 31st December plus 1, so that we have the next year 2027, and then Ctrl R so that this shows the 2027. Let me expand, alternate HOI. So now here we have 2026, here we have 2027. What I'll do next is I'm going to press Ctrl G. I'm going to go to AZ. This is row number 3. So row number 3, Ctrl Shift up, Ctrl Shift left, Ctrl R, and then after that alternate HOI so that it is aligned accordingly, and then alternate HAC so that it is aligned center. So I'm going to press alternate HAC. So yeah, we have aligned center. So now this is basically our data 2026. So I'm going to put here start and this is the year, and this is, I'm going to put another one is year number. So year number meaning to say that this is the first year, equal plus 1, and then Ctrl G, AZ, row number 4, enter, Ctrl Shift left, Ctrl R, alternate HAC so that it is center aligned. So you don't have to center align actually, but I'm doing this because I want to improvise the cosmetic. And then I'll do what? Alternate WFF so that what will make is it will freeze the pin. Okay, so the next thing what I'll do is I'll actually try to determine whether this particular period is a construction period or not. Meaning to say, what we understand is the construction period is about 2 years from 2026 to 2027. So what we need to do is we will use the AND formula. So I'm going to put here construction flag period. Okay, so the construction flag period, what I want to do is I'll put here equal N. Okay, equal N, and I have to make sure that this date over here is actually before the end date of the construction. So I just press this lock and so on. Okay, so this start date should be before the end of construction. Well, then comma, then construction start date, I'm going to lock this as well. This one also should be before the end of month as well. So I'm going to press here enter, and here we have true. So just let me drag this so that you can see the difference. So meaning to say what happened is, there in scenario number 2, the construction period is about 2 years from 2026 to 2027. Meaning to say that is why we have true over here. And if just say I put here to scenario number 1, when I change to scenario number 1, what happened is the construction period starts on 2026, ends in 2028. So that is why you have here 1, 2, 3 truths. And if just say I change the scenario to scenario 3, what happened is the construction period takes about 4 years, meaning to say from 2026 up to 2029. So that's why over here you have about 4 truths. So this is important for us to know whether the particular period is a construction period or a non-construction period. Then I'm going to do what? I'm going to press Ctrl G, AZ. This is row number 6. Enter. Ctrl Shift left, Control R. And then what I'm going to do is I want to highlight all these. Conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, text that contain. I'm going to put FA. So anytime that it contains false, it should be red color. And then if just say true, highlight cell rules, text that contain, TR, and I want to put it green color because we do have several options. So green field when it has the word TR, true. And I'm going to put here bold, Control B. So what happened is, if you see here the true we have 1, 2, 3, 4 appear 4 times. Why? Because in scenario number 3, which is economic downturn, the construction period is about 4 years. But if just same, I change the scenario to scenario 1, you will notice that the construction period is about 3 years. Meaning to say, here we only have 1, 2, 3. Why we have 3 truths? Because the construction period starts on January 2026, ends on December 2028. So if just say I change the scenario to scenario number 2, which is improved growth, under improved growth, the construction period is about 2 years, starting from 2026, ends in 2027, and eventually you will notice it will reflect over here. So why is this flag is very important? This will help us to determine whether the construction period incur charges or no charges, because when during construction period you have construction costs, but non-construction period you don't have to pay anything. So now here we have true and false. What is we need to do next is, the next thing is we need to include the construction elements. So normally in real working world we have a lot of elements, the accounting items, but for this fictional case study I just want to include all these items and I'll paste it over here. Okay, so what happened is, during the construction we have the charges, but no construction we don't pay anything. So what I'll do is, I don't want to do one by one manually. I'll put here equal, go to the assumption tab. So if you notice, all these costs are allocated during the years. That means it's not a one lump sum payment, it is paid every year. So we need to actually allocate accordingly, according to the years. So first thing is, I'll select the construction material and I need to log this. If you notice, all these construction material, labor, equipment, permit, contingency, all these appear in one column. So instead of pressing F4 one time, whereby it will only cell reference to C3, I need to press another 2 times so that it will lock the column C. Why it have to lock the column C? Because construction material, labor, equipment, all these accounting items, these charges located in column C. Then what I need to do is I need to divide. Why I need to divide? Because these costs are a portion or allocated around the years of construction. Meaning to say, I need to select this construction period years and I need to log this. Because this cell doesn't move anywhere, I need to log this. Then I multiply. I multiply with what? I'll go to this sheet 1 over here. I need to multiply this flag, because this flag will tell me whether this is a construction period or non-construction period. And in Excel, true means it is equivalent to 1 and false means is equivalent to 0. So this true false is located in one row, so I need to actually log the row, which is row number 6. And I'm going to press enter and I'll just drag down and I'll change to accounting format, alternate HK. So meaning to say, now this is the construction charges during the year 2026. And then what I'll do is I'll press Ctrl G. The last column is AZ. The last row is 13. Ctrl Shift up, Ctrl Shift left, Ctrl R. And then what I'll do is I'll press Ctrl Space Bar, alternate HOI. So if you look here carefully, the construction charges we have 15 million, 15 million. So if just say I change to scenario number 3. In scenario number 3, we have 4 years for the construction period. So over here you'll notice it is apportioned accordingly. So I'll press here Ctrl A, Ctrl Spacebar, alternate HOI. So now you'll see this. So just say I go to assumption tab, I change to scenario 1. You will notice right now it will be like this. So I'll just say again. So alternate HOI, there you go. So if just say I go to assumption 2. So assumption 2, this is the data.